Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto is in panic mode, and the president is clearly shaken because Irungu Kangata, the Murang'a governor, has confirmed finally that he will not defend his seat on UDA party. And the question is, who will be the next person to make that declaration?
His Excellency, the President, has always told us that the people are supreme, and thank you for that statement. And therefore, my responsibility is to adhere to what people have told me. And in light of that, and because I have tried my best to have these issues resolved internally, I have had a candid discussion with His Excellency, the President, one-on-one, where we shared these ideas, but we did not reach what we call full convergence. I have no doubt to say that after careful reflection, I wish to state that come 2027, I will not defend my seat on the current party ticket. I will later, at a certain stage, communicate the platform which I will present myself to the electorate. However, until then, I will remain a disciplined and committed member of UDA party. I'll continue to serve diligently in my capacity and to cooperate with the national government in delivering development to our people. I will remain loyal to the president and also to the party through the remainder of this term. I do not intend to vie to become the president of Kenya. Neither do I want to become the deputy president of this country. Therefore, my interest and his interest, they do not conflict, strictly speaking. Mine is only to defend my Murang'a seat. But I felt this is important for me to say because I have seen for the last few days, the president has been in Murang'a. And every time when I go there, I'm being pressured to endorse programs, to endorse him. Even the pressure has come publicly, including my friend Ishkamani Shungu. They have even suggested that I'm not sick, which I felt is not fair, because truly it is true I have a problem. I felt that's too much. They have even reached to a certain stage that I thought if I don't do this, people will start saying I'm a cunning politician. So I said, okay, fine. Let me talk the truth.
Irungu Kangata is not your ordinary Kenyan. Irungu Kangata started his politics as a councillor. He was elected an MP. He became a senator. And Irungu Kangata today is serving as the governor for Murang'a. And for those who have been following Irungu Kangata, he's among the few political players in this Republic of Kenya who normally makes the right political decisions. And clearly, his decision this time around cannot be wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want to reveal to you guys why William Ruto is under serious political panic after the move by Irungu Kangata. Because remember, Irungu Kangata even served as the Senate Majority Leader. And at that time, for those who remember, he was close to Uhuru Kenyatta. Then he penned a letter, a very controversial letter to Uhuru Kenyatta. He advised Uhuru Kenyatta against the BBI. What brought down Uhuru Kenyatta in the mountain was the Building Bridges Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, why is William Ruto worried after the exit of Irungu Kangata? Number one, the mountain is slippery for the president. The ground is hostile for UDA party. And because the ground is hostile, we're likely to see more people dumping UDA after the exit of Irungu Kangata. As a matter of fact, Irungu Kangata has now just paved the way for the rest to follow. But can William Ruto become the president of the Republic of Kenya without Mount Kenya? That is the question which is worrying the president. Because let's face it, Mount Kenya has close to 5 million votes, solid one, projected. Ruto is banking on the support of ODM party. ODM would easily make William Ruto the president, because if you look at the votes Raila got in 2022 and the ones William Ruto got, despite the fact that Ruto got the entire Mount Kenya, Ruto was going to easily defeat Ruto. But that ODM party is currently split right into the middle. So which means William Ruto must look for a strategy of winning a percentage of the mountain. Because it's gone, he can't get 100%, he can't get 80%, Ruto can't get 60% of the mountain. But he must try to win 30%. People like Irungu Kangata, if they stuck with the president, would have forced that number. But the fact now that they are leaving is dangerous for William Ruto. Number two, I also tend to think that DCP party, or let me put it this way, Rigathi Gachagua has finally managed to stamp his authority in Mount Kenya. Because previously, people like Irungu Kangata were not very sure. Because remember, William Ruto is not Uhuru Kenyatta. So they were not very sure. But it seems Rigathi has now managed to stamp his authority. And by stamping his authority in the mountain, it means if you are not part and parcel of his formation, then you are out of the equation. So what Kangata is doing is simple. He wants to make the declaration early enough that for him, he's out of UDA. But he's leaving the options open. Because in Mount Kenya, we now have two parties, Jubilee and UDA. So he's leaving the options open, but he's doing that because Rigathi has stamped his authority. But again, Rigathi's narrative is simple. He doesn't want Ruto. But maybe, you never know, maybe Rigathi has someone else in mind in Murang'a. So he'd rather be on his own, but not with Ruto. Because being with Ruto is going to really destroy his political career. So in my view, the DCP is stamping his authority. And I want to predict that Irungu Kangata is probably headed right there. Number three, I'm talking of the 2027 political realignments in the Republic of Kenya. And we're going to see more of these realignments taking shape. And that's why you should not be surprised to even see someone like Kimani Ichung'wah dumping Ruto for Gachagua, although that might not happen. But of course, politics about interest. So the 2027 politics has already begun. So Irungu has realized that, okay, if I continue remaining on the fence, people will interpret that I'm working with Ruto. But working with Ruto is also affecting me, politically speaking. So the best thing for me is to make a declaration that I will not defend my seat on UDA. Then now, he will start attracting interest. After leaving UDA, you can be rest assured that Irungu Kangata will now finally get the opportunity to even start criticizing this government. Because doing so will actually align his politics with those of Rigathi Gachagua. And importantly, and this is something which I keep on saying, politics is a perceptual game. The fact that Irungu Kangata is making this announcement just a few days after Ruto left Murang'a is sending a perception that either number one, William Ruto's visit to Murang'a did not achieve much. And therefore, he's sending his message. Or he's also sending a message that probably the mountain has nothing to do with Ruto. So I want to leave. So the perception is, why is Irungu leaving? Who is going to follow Irungu Kangata? So the perception that UDA is now losing, or Ruto is losing the grip of the mountain, is going to affect William Ruto in a very big way. And importantly, which is my last point, Irungu Kangata's political interest. I've always opined on this platform that in politics we have many constants, two constants. The first constant in politics is money, the interest. And the other one is the betrayal. What is Irungu Kangata's political interest in 2027? He made it very clear that he's not running for the presidency. As we speak, Irungu Kangata is a governor. He doesn't want to become a deputy president. So his political interest is to retain his gubernatorial seat in Murang'a. Others will come later. But how can he be sure of retaining his seat? He can only be sure if he realigns. He can only be sure if he realigns his politics with those of the ground. Which begs the question, what is the ground in the mountain saying about William Ruto, about UDA, about Gachagua? That is what has informed his move. So his own political interest. He wants to secure his interest first before looking for the interest of Ruto, for the interest of any other political players. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think Irungu Kangata will join Rigathi or he will join Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Let me read your comments below. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.